Hello, hello, hello. How are we? Can everybody hear me okay? All right. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Rowley Veterans Association. This is our 4th annual Charles E. Hardy Memorial Scholarship Ceremony. Okay. At this time, could you please rise? We were going to have someone sing our national anthem, but at the last minute she called in and said she couldn't come. So we will do a Pledge of Allegiance led by Fred Hardy.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will we please stand for a moment of silence for our brothers and sisters over in harm's way? May they return home safe to their loved ones. All right, thank you very much. It makes it, Okay, my name is Dan LaRochelle, but everybody calls me Bug. I've had that name for 60-odd years. I used to bug my older brothers. Now I just bug my wife. This is the Charles E. Hardy Memorial Scholarship. So, at this time, I'm going to introduce Mr. Fred Hardy. He's going to tell you a little bit about Charles Hardy.
Thanks, Bud. Hi, everybody. If you knew my cousin Charles, he was a very big man. I mean, size-wise and every other way. He ran this building for a long time. He was military. He worked as a police officer. He was someone that you really looked up to. The other thing he could do, he could make fireplaces and brickwork and stonework, unbelievable. And when he would do that, every single brick had to be perfect. It would come down, he'd do it again. And that's how he ran his life. Every brick was perfect. So keep it in mind as you go through life. Do it right once. And if every brick is perfect, you'll do just fine. But Charles is a man to be not forgotten, and this way he's always remembered. Thank you.
We are the Charles E. Hardy Scholarship Fund, and we are in the Rowley Veterans Association. So it's a separate entity, so we have to thank the Rowley Veterans Association, especially all the way down from the board of directors to the bartenders, the bar manager, especially Jen, who I bugged the hell out of the past couple weeks. All the bartenders who sold raffle tickets, and then especially patrons who come in and buy the raffle tickets and all that. So we have to make sure we thank all of them. I mean, there's a lot of good people here that are doing good things. I know sometimes we get bad reps, but there are good people doing good things. This is being filmed by Newburyport Channel 9. And I believe if you talk to these two students, you will be able to get copies of this film, and I think they're going to put it on YouTube, and so parents or whatever can get copies of this ceremony, whatever. We need to thank a whole bunch of people, so please listen up, and if you see these people, please thank them, because a lot of this stuff they are donating, and we need to thank them. On the food side, I mean, I've already mentioned some of it. The pizza factory sent that food over, and they're not even open on Sunday. They sent it over last night, and so they're really nice. Of course, Nick's Pizza sent over all those pizzas. I got a little story about Nick's Pizza in a little bit. David Fish Market sent that clam chowder that my wife prepared. Market Basket was real nice to us. They gave us a food gift certificate, and they made some stuff. Plus, they let my wife and I sell raffle tickets over there in the rain. That's a funny story. We're over there in the rain selling raffle tickets, and then we leave and come back a few days later, and they got these big yard umbrellas up for sale. Why couldn't they have them when we were selling the raffle tickets? And then, Carol Poets brought in all those little desserts. So we have a lot of nice people that brought in some food. All right, who else we gotta thank? Oh, Cassie at the Pancake House. I don't know if you're familiar with the Pancake House. She let me sell some raffle tickets there one day, and she also gave me a check. And then she dug into her little thing there and pulled out some money out of her tips and gave me money. So she was nice. We need to thank Eddie Boyle, Chip Herrick, Erica down at Haircrafters, who moved down on Market Street in Ipswich, Chokebridge Pub, Riverview Pizza, Hootie at Mike and Son Oil, Scott at Scott Little's, Roby Window, Schmod's Place, the Ipswich Inn, Winfrey Fudge, Fred and Kathy Carter, Fred Hardy, Archibald Landscaping, Agawam Diner, Mary Good, and of course my lovely wife. Please give them a hand if they're here, please, please, please. This year is the 100th anniversary of the Peace Treaty of World War I. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. There's a mass grave over there. It's called Flanders Field. Because of all the chemicals and stuff that were used there, nothing would grow there except for these weird yellow, red poppies. So starting in 1924, the VFW and the American Legion started making these paper flowers, poppies, and they would sell them on the street. And that's how they started veterans benefits for the disabled veterans. And to this day, the American Legion is funded through the sale, the donations generated through these red poppies. And it just so happens that this weekend is the National Poppy Weekend. Now, you may not realize this, but this is an international thing. This is not only in America. This is done in several countries: Canada, Australia, England, France, the Netherlands, any country that was involved in World War I. Now, you wear these flowers on Memorial Day weekend. It just so happens I'm involved in this fundraiser too. Some of you might have seen me standing out in front of a market basket yesterday. But I also have a container over here for donations and a bunch of these red poppies. So before you leave, come by. If you don't have any money, it doesn't matter. Just take one of the flowers and make sure you wear it next weekend on Memorial Day. Speaking of Memorial Day, next weekend we have a parade. It's Monday, May 27th. We line up here at 1 o'clock. And the parade starts at 1:30. Now, you people that are getting scholarships, we kind of like to put you in the parade. We'll put you either on the back of a convertible or on the back of a truck or something, and we'll give you a ride around. The parade is just takes a ride from here, goes down to the cemetery and a few ceremonies, and then we come back here for a little cookout. So hopefully you're available and you can come to our parade. What else? Oh, here's one other thing. I'd like to read this little, about the poppies. The whole thing started with a poem on the poppies. You can look it up if you, on the Flanders Field. The poem is from John McCrae. He's a lieutenant colonel in the Canadian Army. But there's also another little poem I kind of like to read. It's only 4 little lines. We cherish too the party red that grows on fields where valor led. It seems to signal to the skies that blood of heroes never dies. I like that. All right, moving on. One final note before we get started. June 14th is Flag Day. On June 12th, I'm going to the VFW to get rid of or destroy old flags. I mean, you should, if you have a flag at your home and you display it and it's getting old and worn and stuff, replace it with a new one and bring the old one to me or get a hold of me, and I'm going to take the old ones and bring them to the VFW and dispose of them in the right way. So get a hold of me. We're doing this on June 12th. June 14th is Flag Day. Whew. Can I drink? All right, now we get started. Okay, the first one. We're going to Newburyport. Newburyport was a hard one. You know, people always tell me I have to pick the most deserving people, you know? How do you determine the most deserving people? You know, we're a veteran organization, so we try to find people that are, you know, connected to the military. But as far as the Newburyport selection, we had like 15 or 16 applicants, and none of them were really connected to the military. So I'm kind of going through them. I went through them, and I kept narrowing it down, and I came down to 2 of them, and I finally looked, and they both worked at the same place. So I go to my wife, and I says, okay, let's go to lunch. So we drove over to Nick's Pizza in Newburyport. And then one of the applicants, the owner of Nick's, Frank, he wrote this most beautiful letter and, you know, praising this applicant. And then on the other one, he didn't write anything. So I asked Frank, I says, you got these 2 people, you write this letter for one, and you didn't write anything for the other one. I said, how come? And Frank says, he didn't ask. So that put me in the same dilemma. Both are so outstanding, you know, it's just so hard, you know? So anyways, I just told the wife, I says, well, it's just going to have to be a tie, you know? So, how do we, okay. I have to announce the first one using her own words. We are the music makers. And we are the dreamers of dreams. I just love those words. We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams. She's a world traveler already as a senior in high school. Can we bring up Samantha Lucy? Anybody want to take a picture? When I was reading this guy's application, all I could think of was Tom Brady. When you start mixing biochemistry and nutrition, all you can think of is Tom Brady and doing, eating yogurt and all that kind of stuff. But he still delivers pizzas. Can you bring up Miles O'Malley?
Do little pieces like that. Like definitely able to do.
Okay, now we go to Ipswich. Ipswich was kind of easy. There was no problem there. He stood right out. First things were on his thing was integrity first, service before self, and excellent in all we do. He's already a lieutenant in the Civil Air Patrol, and just in a few short hours, he'll have his full license, full pilot license. He's going to be going to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical School for to have to have a career in the United States Air Force. Can you bring up? Where the hell is his name? Come on up, you know who you are. Aaron Pullins. Thanks, Aaron. Get over first. Get in front of the side. He said he's going to take me up flying. Now we're going to Triton. Yeah, and there's another tie. First one plans to a career in the United States Navy after attending the Mass Maritime Academy. I got a quote from one of his history teacher. Joshua approached assignments with a level of dedication that set him apart from his peers. Please welcome Joshua Price. Thank you. She has been described as a respectful, hardworking student who is willing to put in the effort needed to have a successful education. She is known as a dedicated student and friend, a hardworking athlete, and a student involved in our school culture. She is not afraid to stand up for what she is believed in and takes part in making a change. She is a cheerleader, swimmer, class officer, and student on the student newspaper. Please welcome Madison Fecto. Maddie. On to Georgetown. Another tie. These two guys have been kind of tied together. I've been watching them basically since the 8th grade kind of grow and develop from a distance. Each year they've grown and progressed. This year I had the opportunity to get a little bit closer and get to know them pretty well. I think Georgetown should be real proud of these two gentlemen going forward. And I think Georgetown knows that. And I can stand up here and read off all the accomplishments these guys made. But to make it simple, they're putting their names up on the gymnasium wall. So I'll just bring them both up here together. Matt Mansfield and Ian Forgitano. It's quite an honor to have your name put up on the gym wall like that. Yeah, I really screwed up. 4 schools, 4 scholarships, that's what I was going for. Well, oh well. I missed on everything. So I missed on the schools too. So on the 5th school, they tell me to find the perfect scholarship, so I found this one. She had straight A's, high honors. She played 3 varsity sports. She was captain of 2 sports. She's going to Middlebury to play college hockey. She's going to study biochemistry and computer science. Her brother's in the Air Force Academy. Her father's on active duty Coast Guard. She wants to be a national security agency, but she can't be here. Her field hockey team is playing in the finals or semifinals. Lacrosse, I'm sorry. Lacrosse. So her name is Caroline Cutter. She goes to Brooks Academy, but she's from Byfield. So give her a round of applause. Here's the last one. My last one, last but not least. I get these veterans magazines at homes, and I found a little article. The United States Post Office is going to be issuing some new stamps featuring 4 different dogs that's been used in the military since World War I. They've been very, very important to the military through the years. Right now, there's 2,300 canines on active duty in the military. And so why am I telling you this? Well, there's a young man that's going to be going to, New England University? Did I have that right? I didn't finish my speech. You guys came too early. He's going to be going to the New England University. He's already done internships on animal behavior. I found this gentleman, I met him in November, and he's kind of like a Clark Kent Superman. One minute he puts on his wrestling shoes and goes out on the mat and he wrestles these 275-pound guys. Next minute he comes off, takes a shower, puts his street clothes on and his glasses, and he's the kindest, most gentle person you could ever imagine. Please welcome Nicholas Fragilano. Fragillo. That's the check. You don't want to lose that.
Thank you so much.
So, that's it. That concludes my ceremony. My pockets are empty. My bank book is dry. And thank you very much. Glad to see you. I hope these recipients keep in contact with me. I'd like to keep in contact with some of these guys. They'll probably be hearing from me next year to say, come on back and see me. With that, see you later.